Have you ever pondered on the question, who writes history and how does it shape our understanding of the past? Today, we delve into the intriguing world of colonial historiography, a field that addresses this very question. Historiography, at its broadest, refers to the study of history and its methodology. It examines how narratives of the past come to be, scrutinizing who writes them, their motivations, and the impact of their interpretations. Colonial historiography, a subfield of this discipline, concentrates specifically on histories of colonialism and imperialism. The story of colonial historiography unfolds chronologically, beginning in the era of the colonies themselves. During this time, colonizers wrote the first histories, often portraying themselves as civilizing heroes, bringing order and enlightenment to savage lands. These narratives, deeply influenced by Eurocentric perspectives, dominated the historical record for centuries. However, the mid-20th century brought a shift. As colonized nations gained independence, their historians began to rewrite these colonial narratives. They sought to challenge the Eurocentric bias, highlighting the exploitative nature of colonialism and the resilience of native populations. This period marked the birth of post-colonial historiography. Then came the late 20th century, a time of introspection and critique. Historians began to question the very nature of historical writing, acknowledging its inherent subjectivity. They called for the inclusion of diverse voices, particularly those marginalized in traditional narratives, like women and the working class. This period saw the rise of subaltern studies, a field that focuses on these marginalized groups within colonial societies. In the early 21st century, historians began to adopt a global perspective in colonial historiography. They expanded their scope beyond the binary of colonizer and colonized, exploring the complex interconnections between different colonial entities. This approach, often referred to as New Imperial History, emphasizes the global impact of colonialism, from economic systems to cultural exchanges. So, what have we gleaned from this journey through colonial historiography? We have seen how colonial histories were initially written by the colonizers, often from a Eurocentric perspective. We've explored how post-independence historians challenged these narratives, highlighting the exploitative nature of colonialism and the resilience of native populations. We've looked at the rise of subaltern studies, which focuses on marginalized groups within colonial societies. And finally, we've discussed the recent shift towards a global perspective, emphasizing the complex interconnections and global impact of colonialism. The field of colonial historiography, like history itself, is dynamic and ever-evolving. It challenges us to question our understanding of the past and urges us to consider who writes history and why. Through its various stages, colonial historiography reveals that history is not a static, objective record of the past. Instead, it is a complex tapestry woven from multiple perspectives, each with its own unique insights and biases. And so the journey of understanding continues, as we peel back the layers of the past, one narrative at a time.